You want to build an IoT product, but you're not sure how to comply with federal regulations. Where do you start, and how can you make that process a little easier? Hello and welcome back to Swattage, the Software Innovation Lab. If you're new here, my name is Dale Richards. I'm a software innovator from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I love making software that changes the world. I'm building a SaaS product from concept to cash, and I'm taking you with me for the ride. If you want to build apps, grow your SaaS business, and make money doing cool software entrepreneur-related stuff, start now by subscribing and hitting the bell. We're continuing our IoT conversation with Dan Newbold and Christi Luciani, and today's topic is regulatory compliance. What do you need to know?
So some things you might not know about maybe the compliance side or some of these new areas for innovation. There are definitely laws that you need to be looking at. I guess the legal framework wasn't built for this new kind of higher tech industry, so a lot of our verbiage is not incorporating these new concepts. So these are definitely something you need to work with lawyers on to get up-to-date information and their interpretation on things. So I definitely would recommend working with a legal professional. I would reach out to a patent attorney. That would be my first go-to, and they would probably be able to point you in the right direction.
If you're looking to develop a new product, particularly in the medical space, it's really nice to have your product based on like prior art. There's a lot of devices that have already gotten approval from FDA or FCC, so you don't have to get like the bare device itself looked at. You just have to get whatever you've added to it taken care of. Ends up saving a lot of time and money and work, honestly, because you usually have to come back with revisions after it gets looked at. Positive for FCC, you can just look up the FCC ID of the device that you're using. Usually it's printed on it, but if you don't know, you can usually just Google the name of the device, FCC, and you'll find it registered somewhere. And that will include the information about what it has been approved and not approved for. It's a lot easier to get through your regulatory hoops if you're like primarily based on something that was designed previously that already had FCC approval and already had FDA approval. And that's something that we do when we're making like prototypes for devices. We use a really popular like IoT development platform that's already been looked at by regulators. So just the components that we added onto it would have to be looked at by like the FCC or whatever. But if it was not doing anything new, you probably, like, I'm not a lawyer, but you might not have to get new regulatory approval for it.
Coming up next on Swattage, the Software Innovation Lab. Security and IoT. How can you make sure your IoT device and user data are secure? Join us again. Videos are published every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 noon Mountain Time.